January is a time for rethinking our habits, which means there can be a lot of attention on food and losing weight. Even in a typical month, diet culture, it's all around us. We know that, right? Which can affect our children negatively. But there are things you can do to combat that. With help on how to do that is Registered Dietitian Sue Mah, who joins us now. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning. So good to see you today.
I love that we're talking about this. You have some do's and don'ts for us when it comes to raising our children to have that positive relationship with food. So let's start, Sue, with the do's.
Yeah, so my first do is to model a positive relationship with food and weight. Believe it or not, your kids are always watching you and listening. You might not think they are, but they are. So think about the way you talk about food, your food choices, your body and weight. So instead of saying something like, oh, I'm going to be bad today and have a cookie for dessert, you could say something like, I'm really feeling like having a dessert. Why don't we have that yummy chocolate chip cookie that we baked on the weekend? So it's a positive approach to food. Same thing with weight. Avoid complimenting weight loss. How many times have you heard somebody say, hey, you look so great. Did you lose weight? That just sends a negative message to our kids that weight loss is associated with, a better appearance. And that's just not true, which actually leads me to my second tip. And my second tip is respect bodies of all shapes and sizes. In diet culture, we're taught that, being thin is doable, it's achievable if only we just ate less. And this is just not true. Healthy bodies come in different shapes and sizes. So let's celebrate body diversity. And what you can do with your kids is look through their toys, look through their books, and look for body diversity and explain to kids that, hey, listen, as you grow older and get older, your bodies are going to change. Their shape will change, their size will change, and that's totally okay. It's totally normal.
Yeah, and monitoring that social media too. I mean, we're sort of entering those years where they're way more well versed on the computer. They can make their way around to YouTube. All the social media sites. So, what is your advice with the do there?
Oh, wow. This is such an important one. So help your kids develop media and social media literacy. And what this means is that, you want to help them question and critique the messages that they're seeing about food, diet, exercise, and weight, because many times you see these images of perfection. And to be truthful, real people aren't perfect and perfect people aren't real, right?
That's
so help
true.
kids understand that. If you find that some of the social media accounts are promoting diet culture, just unfollow those accounts.
Exactly.
Move on.
All
You
right.
got it.
So let's move on and talk about the don'ts, Sue.
Yeah, so my first don't label foods as good or bad. Foods don't have a moral value. All foods can provide nourishment. All foods can fit. And for me, food is joy. Food is love. Food gives comfort and nourishment. So sit down with your kids, enjoy all foods, a variety of foods without any judgment and without any feelings of guilt.
And what about food as a reward? What do you say about that?
Oh, yeah. How many times have you heard, you can't have dessert until you've finished eating your veggies. So yeah, what does that do? That elevates the dessert. The dessert is a prize and vegetables are the bad guy, right? So that promotes the good, bad food culture, and that's not what we want. Instead, my tip is to serve dessert with dinner as opposed to after dinner. Yeah, so
but what happens if they start eating and they get full on the dessert and then they don't eat the rest of it?
Well, then you talk about that. How did you feel after having that first cupcake? Okay. How did you feel after having the second cupcake? Oh, it didn't taste as good. Maybe you started to feel a bit full. So that's opportunity for conversation, right? But it puts all foods on an equal level. So dessert isn't the prize.
I'm going to try that, but I feel like I know my kids are going to be like, I felt great. Let's bring it on. Anyway, worth a try. I like having sort of an even, I said eating, but really the same thing, even playing field with all the food. Sue, it is always good to talk to you. Thanks so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.